Before I start, let me say this for those of you who don't know me. I'm a pastor, Park Meadows Church, and I just want you to know at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning, I don't preach about success. I preach the Bible, I preach about God and God's character. And my theory is that if my people can know God better, the success will follow. So I don't think that's the time and the place for success preaching per se as the world defines that. But I do think that the Bible is like an owner's manual for human beings. So it's full of information on every area of life, and where it speaks to an issue, it speaks with authority. So obviously the oldest, the most ancient book in the world that contains economic and financial principles is the Bible. So we're going to, when you see them, they're authoritative. And so when is a time we can talk about these things? I think now's a good time. Anytime besides Sunday morning at 11 o'clock, right? So we'll talk about it a little bit now. And what I want to talk about is the subject of debt reduction and what the Bible actually teaches about it. There are a lot of people in the world teaching on this subject, and you'll hear them on TV, hear them on the radio, and the message is pretty much universal, at least what I'm hearing out there, is that debt is basically wrong and there's no good time to use debt. So we'll talk about that in a moment. But let me say this. Earlier I said if you know God, the success follows. Let me give you a verse about that. I think it would be appropriate. Psalm 37:23, actually one of my favorite verses in the Bible. It says, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. And though he may fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for he upholdeth him in his hand." And that's beautiful about how the Lord upholds us even when we stumble, even when we make mistakes. But the very next verse says this, "I have been young and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread." So if you are the righteous, that means you know the Lord personally and you're following Him, you're studying the Word, you're getting to know God better every day. You're not going to be a person who is begging for bread. In other words, you're going to have a certain amount of wealth. You're going to have a certain amount of all of your life taken care of by the Lord. And so that's what I meant when I said if we get to know the Lord better, the success will follow. Hope this is helpful to you.